Are they right for you? Is this relationship the right one? How will you know? These are conversations and topics I want to talk about in this video because love has reason which reason knows nothing of. That means love is felt, but it's not a feeling. I'm gonna say that again for all y'all in the back. Love is felt, but it's not a feeling. And you'll know when you know. I've interviewed couples, like so many couples in the past decade of me doing this work who have made it through crazy ruptures and repair, who are still passionately in love after a decade. And no matter if it started out as friendships that evolved into something more, or it was love at first sight, there was a commonality in they just knew. And it's fascinated me for a while. I kind of wrestled with, well, okay, well, how will I know? And the knowing is a sensation beyond feeling. It's not something rational. Somebody can check off all the boxes and look right like the right thing on paper, but your body says no. Or your body's saying no, but the sense is saying yes. There's a lot here. So how will you just know? And the discernment piece. Listen, I wish I could give you something that's very black and white, because that's probably what you're looking for. You're looking for, well, I want to know, and let me watch this video from Kevin. Let me scroll on Instagram. And if you go on Instagram, you're going to find a lot of black and white thinking, and none of all of it is entirely true. I want to help you grow in your intuition and your discernment. And that means there's a lot of nuance to things. That means you got to take in the full picture. That means it's not black and white. And your situation, you can't be like, you can't look at a YouTube video or an Instagram post and just know from that. If you can, they don't know you and they don't know your situation. They don't know the uniqueness of you and the other person and the relationship that y'all have. Sometimes God brings people together for reasons that we can't even comprehend and understand. Like I look back at my exes and a lot of my relationships that I used to shame myself about, even though some of them ended because they cheated on me, but I was shaming myself, making it all my fault. Anyway, long stories there. But I look at it and I go, whoa, God was working in that. Even in my codependency, even in my people pleasing, even in my stuff that I still had to work through. That's exactly what they needed in that time to change their relationship with men, or to go in and create a home in a home, or to move cities, whatever the thing was, to heal trust issues. Like, we were brought together for something bigger and greater than ourselves and from me. And I think that's a big thing here when you're asking yourself, well, who's right for me? We're still in the limited construct of our own mind, thinking about ourselves, and love is more than ourselves. It's also for the other person. It's for future generations. It's for onlookers. There's so much that weaves into the magic of a relationship. And if you go into it trying to just self-serve, you're missing a lot of the equation and a lot of the point. So what I'm trying to get at is sometimes God will say, this is your person right now. And I've confused that with this is your person forever and proposed and all of these things. Because I got the green light and I got the feeling. I'm sorry, I got the what was felt that's not a feeling of a yes. And then it turned into a no. And that's okay. And things get to change. And so I think this pervasive, I want to get it right, paired with the pervasive in the consciousness of there's one person and I got to find the one, which makes love scarce, can create a lot of damage in people not fully committing. Also, with culture and how connected we are through social media, there seems to be an illusion of like infinite choice. So it's like, well, this isn't everything, and I don't want to compromise on my high as fuck standards. So maybe next. Oh wait, this takes work. Next. Oh wait, but they have more money. Next. Or they're more beautiful. Next. Or they make me feel this thing that you don't make me feel. So next. Right? Like the quick to go next, looking for the one, and kind of like this self-servingness, that those things get in the way of the discernment of what's for you. So how will you know what's for you? Connect with your intuition, connect with your somatic body. So again, it's a weird thing. It's sensed, it's felt, but it's not a feeling. And so the more that you get connected with that, which is felt, that's not a feeling, you could say that's love, that's God. The deeper you connect with that, you won't be looking for signs. Like the fact that you're confused might be the clarity that you need. There will be clarity, but the more you're trying to figure it out, the more you're getting in the way of even seeing clearly. And it sounds so paradoxical. It sounds so like, again, I told you this is not black and white. Don't try as hard. Surrender and let it guide you. What you're really scared of is being hurt again. Not by somebody else, but can you trust yourself to just get back up again if you fall down, if you get your heart broken again? Can you trust yourself to get back up? That's ultimately how you can become unfuckwithable in the dating scene. It's like, yeah, that's going to hurt. Ouch. Don't want that. And it's not the end of the world. And it doesn't mean I'm XYZ or not enough or any of the things. It just means this person wasn't a match for me. And how much of that in past relationships is distorting your perception of self? What if all the things that were wrong with you, if you're blaming yourself of anything, I'm too much, I wasn't enough, I could have done this, blah, 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 was just you're trying to fit a square peg in a round hole and it wasn't that person? And what if you're perfect just the way you are? And there's a person, or maybe multiple people, who could be a match for that, right? So discernment. Get into your body. Don't try as hard. Don't think about it so much. Feel into it. There's so much nuance, and ultimately connect with God. You're gonna get signs, not by asking for them. You're gonna get signs in your increase of peace. That's probably the one barometer that I could tell you is gonna be the biggest logical thing is peace. Do they give you more sense of peace in your life or take away from it? Now, that's a tough one because there's different types of peace, right? There's a peace that's without triggers. And then there's like, oh, you're just not triggering me, so there's no peace here. Or there's a peace that diffuses the triggers entirely. It's beyond. It gives your soul rest, right? And a lot of this is something that a lot of people can go into when they're single. All of a sudden they're experiencing all this peace. They're on their shit. Their life's going great. And then they get into a relationship again and all the stuff comes out of the box, right? Like that wasn't actually peace. That wasn't actually healing. That was avoidance. But can you be in the arena of a relationship and still feel peace with a certain person? Do they bring up those insecurities to completely diffuse them, not to just numb them and make you feel better for a little bit because they give affirmations all the time or they love bomb you? Hello. Does it give your soul rest? And if your soul doesn't know what rest is, that's part of your work, which is why I talk so much about getting closer to God. Because the closer you are to God, and not just who you think God is, but your relationship with God, and let God work in you instead of you always doing the work on yourself, you'll start to experience more peace, and you'll know what's for you and what's not. Because it's a feeling. I'm sorry, it's felt, but it's not a feeling. It's such a tongue tie and a mind fuck. So I hope that this helps in your level of discernment. And also slow down. Like, slow down. I've sped up stuff and tripped over myself and hurt other people because of my expediency and wanting to get things done quickly. Like a relationship is like a garden. If you rush the process, you're spraying harmful stuff on the fruit. And you're gonna have adverse side effects. You're gonna take from the nutrients. There's nowhere to go in a relationship. The point of being in love is to be in love. There's nowhere to go with it. But if there's always an agenda and somewhere to go and the next thing, and we got to make sure what is this? What does this mean? Like, I get it from a safety perspective, right? You want to, what is this relationship? And it's important to have conversations to have, and things like that. But what if there wasn't such a rush so you could actually figure out and get to know somebody? Even taking all the physical intimacy out of the equation and just getting to know somebody before you dive into bed with them is going to give you a lot of clarity. So we can't talk about discernment of what's for you if we don't talk about what muddies and gets in the way of that discernment. Again, it's felt but not a feeling. Well, if your feelings are on high drive because they're actually not safe, You get the butterflies, which is actually like your body saying you're not safe and you're in fight or flight. You're confusing those chemical responses as love because that's all you've ever known. Hello, that was me. And you don't know what it's like to be in peace and in love at the same time, and you're playing out your trauma stuff, or you're dating your shadow type of thing. Listen, if you also then add in the mix physical intimacy, what it does neurochemically in the body is going to just bind y'all so much more, and you're not going to have the same level of discernment because the biological, subconscious, primal part of your body is going to want to make them into it, even if they're not it. So, waiting a little bit is just beneficial for that reason. And it makes it so much sweeter when it does happen. And last bit I'll say on that is that those conversations are important to have. And we're not meant for separation. We're not meant to intermingle and then not. As humans, I truly believe that our hearts are not meant for that. But it's so common. And unfortunately, it's because it's so common, people are just throwing themselves in bed because they're getting attention that way, or it makes them feel a certain way. Again, if you don't pursue the feelings, get to a baseline of peace. There's a lot of work that needs to get done in that. I shared a lot of things here. Hopefully this has given you some clarity of like, oh, that's the thing I needed to hear. Because this is so big. I work with clients for a month or two on this one topic of how do you know? And at the end of the day, guess what? You don't. You take a risk. To love is risky. To love another human so deeply is inherently risky and dangerous. You're going to get hurt. They're going to step on your toes. You're going to get your expectations shattered. You're going to get your heart broken by them in some way. They're going to let you down. They're going to forget XYZ. That's why it's so important to anchor your sense of safety and love into not yourself, because you're also changing, but God. Because then you can just go into your relationship from pouring from an overflow and of choice instead of I need you to meet this need of mine. I need you to make sure that these insecurities don't come up. You see, it's a different ball game entirely, and so, um, you'll know when you know. And until then, don't try to know. And the last thing I'll say on this: never let your level of try exceed your level of prayer. Pray about it. But not more than you try, because when you're trying more than you're praying, you're edging God out of the situation and you're doing all of the decision making. Yes, it's your love life, but it matters to so many other people, and it means so much to others. And there's such an interweaving of things that we don't understand and can never understand that is involved in the decisions. So let love you and guide you, because you don't need to figure it out all the time. Maybe trust a little bit more. I'm going to leave a link down below to a course that I have. It's $97 if you want in 6 weeks about rebuilding trust with yourself, God, and men. This is for the ladies, by the way, at the time of me recording this video. So check it out if you are looking to just trust more. It's going to do a lot to clear stuff from your past so that it's not lingering and creating sabotage in your relationships right now, and really connect to your intuition, which is going to be that discernment of what's a yes and what's a no versus what's fear and a trauma in the body, and deepen your relationship with God and yourself. So check it out below. Hit that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. And also, if you got any questions, let me know as well down below. I love y'all so much. I really hope this helped. More videos to come soon. I've been really loving making these videos on the spot. I do it first thing in the morning, right when I get up after my morning routine, and it's been a game changer for me. I know hundreds of you have been loving this stuff. I'm working on an app. I'm working on a book. I'm working on courses. I'm working on so much right now, and I just want to say thank you for subscribing, for following, for being a part of this journey with me. And I think there's more happening than I can even comprehend and see. And so I just want to say thank you. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon.